Hi, I have made a quick tutorial here to show you all the great things on Jupyter. If you do not know your information or know how to log into Jupyter, please contact the office and we can help you get you that information right away. I have added a student to Mrs. Wilson's class so you can see what this would look like logging on as a parent. So first and foremost, I have logged on an iPad. So it may look different to you. The big difference would be that these tabs are not shown right away. If you're logging on a computer, these tabs will be on the left side automatically, okay? But if you have been here more than 1 year, then you can click on this tab if you ever need to get information from previous years. So you can always look back that way. Also, as the year goes on, please make sure that you're in the correct quarter to make sure you're up to date on things, okay? So looking at this, I really want to focus on some of these tabs on the right because those are some big things that we are making a push for with our staff. So the first one I'm going to go over is the calendar. So I'm going to click on the calendar, and this is a big one here that you can notice. We have lunch, announcements, and due dates. This will be probably looking a little different on some grade levels, and I'll explain that here in just a second. But first, the lunch. So I'm going to take off announcements and due dates, and you can see that we have added the lunch menu on here automatically. So anytime you want to see what they're getting ready to have, every time we have it for the next month, it will be added on there. So you can look ahead. As soon as we get November, we will be adding that in. Then from there, announcements. I'm going to take off the lunch part there. And then, so now for the announcements, you can see that we used to label lunch as an announcement, but now starting October 7th, we are not listing it as an announcement. Except for the only one we still have there is the 8th grade pizza lunch, just because that is a fundraiser lunch. But you can see on the announcements, fall break, end of the quarter, and things like that. Now, I'm going to check just due dates, and for Mrs. Wilson, this does not matter right now because there's nothing due tomorrow. But for many teachers, you'll see things that could be due, especially middle school. If you have a middle school student, please check this because the teachers are really trying to put all their stuff that are like big projects and big tests that are coming up much earlier than just one day, so you can see this plenty of time. I already know for a fact there's a few tests listed for the end of the month, so you can actually check those and see those already now. So I'll leave those all back up so you can see what this is like. So the calendar is a great tool. From there, the next big one I want to check on would be materials. So if I hit on materials and then go to school office, so again, that was materials and then school office. Under here, we have some great tools to be able to use. You can see October 2019. If you want to see the lunch menu again, there's another great spot for it. Other than that, you got an all-school calendar. You've got a supply list for all the grades, and then the student handbook. And then another great tool here would be the middle school newsletter. This is actually where you can see all the old middle school newsletters, but then as they update them, they will keep coming through. So there's a real short link to it instead of waiting for the PNG, which I know it's in there too. Another big change that you might have noticed, especially in the middle school, is the behavior log. If you haven't checked this, please do. And just see if there's anything, because when we put something in, we try to make sure that a message is sent to the parent, but sometimes it's not always checked off. So with that in mind, just check this to make sure you see what's going on. But as you can see, I added one behavioral issue, which the student left without permission, so they got infraction. Now again, infractions are a middle school thing, but everywhere else it's not. So I wanted to show what it would look like if your student did receive an infraction. It would just be listed there as they received one infraction. So that is how you would see it. If you don't see that, then they did not receive an infraction. Also, our good behavior, we've been trying to put that in there too so that kids know the great things that we're seeing too. So that is where you can see that. Again, that's under behavior log. From there, I'm going to start going through some of the other tabs. Another big one will be the messages. I can look back at previous messages by clicking on that part, and then if I need to write a message, you can click in there, and then you actually don't have to type in the full name, so I'm just going to look for Keely. Oh, it went right to her, so I could write her a message, and then I can also add multiple people, so I added Mrs. Wilson also. So you are able to type in names there also just to get that contact in there, so I could send messages that way. From there, you saw the grades at the beginning. So on here, I can click directly on, I see reading, I'm going to click on that one, and it took me straight there. Or I could have clicked on grades and then gone to reading this way. But again, now I can see exactly what's happening. When you're at the very beginning, if they have something missing, you'll see a big red missing assignment listed there, and it will help you see if something is missing. So please make sure you're checking that just to see what's going on there. From there, the next part would be when report cards are loaded up, you can check it this way. So you can click on here, but we also send a paper copy home, and then we leave it on Jupyter for a few weeks. So if you lose that paper copy and need it again, we can get you one, or you can check here and see it. After that, attendance. This student has no absences or tardies, but if you wanted to see any previous absences or tardies, then you are able to see that by clicking on this. And then lastly, directory. If I didn't know the teacher's full name or didn't know what to type in, you're able to click on them this way. So if I wanted to write Mr. Esposito, I could easily click on there and write him this way, and that gets you straight there. So from there, hopefully that gives you enough information of how this all works, but we're really making a push to make sure we're able to contact parents this way through Jupyter. So please feel free to contact us if you ever need anything. This is a great way for us to hear from you too about what's going on, or if your child needs any extra help or anything like that. So hopefully this helps, and have a great day.